say the spill is unrelated to a Dow chemical incident earlier in the day. Dow reported that its Dowtherm A product, or biphenyl, was released around 2 p.m. Some employees in the vicinity of the leak were asked to shelter in place. Dow officials say there was no health risk to the community. The leak was contained to the on-site facility. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. They talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
A man arraigned Tuesday on a felony charge for killing of a Lyft driver that could send him to prison for life. Michigan News Network's Kyle Kimball reports.
19-year-old Kamari Devon Phillips being held without bond in the Oakland County Jail. Phillips is charged in Friday's shooting death of 49-year-old Dina Terrell of East Point. Early Friday, deputies arrived at what was reported to be an injury accident, only to find Terrell in the front seat. She was taken to a local hospital where she was pronounced dead.
9 Michigan cities received money to make improvements to water systems. The governor and Michigan Economic Development Corporation announced the grants Tuesday. The nearly $15 million in Community Development Block Grant water-related infrastructure grants were awarded to Clare, Dowagiac, Everett, Hillsdale, Imlay City, Iron River, Lapeer, Reading, and Reed City. The money can be used to make improvements to their existing water, sewer, and wastewater public infrastructure systems. In a storm last week that caused damage to Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore's Miners Beach, the National Park Service says the main staircase there has significant damage. Visitors will have to use the staircases at either end of the beach instead. They are asking visitors not to climb up and down the bluff because that will cause more damage and more beach erosion. WSGW News Time, 9:10.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Mostly cloudy for today. Showers in the area mainly through the early part of the afternoon. Temperatures will mainly fall across the region to the north-northwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight, partly cloudy. Lows make it down to the lower 30s. Winds northwest, 5 to 15. Higher gust again possible. Thursday, mostly sunny skies, diminishing winds. Highs top out near 51. Thursday night, cleared to partly cloudy. Lows fall back to 36. And highs reach 56 on Friday. This is meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, it's 53.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinion. Your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning and welcome. Welcome back to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio on this Wednesday midweek, final week, full week anyway, of the month of October. What we're going to do this morning, we'll have open phones for this hour. We'll start next hour talking to the Bay City Manager, Dana Muscott, and then have more open phones time permitting. And we will continue the open phones through Focus because there is no Focus guest today. So a lot of opportunity to chat with you this morning. And our number is 989-752-6111. All right. So I have to ask, did you watch the gubernatorial debate here in Michigan last night? And did you follow any of the other debates, particularly Fetterman versus Oz in the state of Pennsylvania? I must tell you, I did not. And I guess I had to talk myself out of it. I just decided at some point I'd had enough. I've heard all the positions, and I just didn't feel it was necessary to watch the debate. My wife watched faithfully. She really wanted to watch and see the two gubernatorial candidates here in Michigan, and I have not talked to her about her conclusions, but she was watching, and I was busy doing something else. In recent years, it's funny how you kind of change as you get a little older. A little older? A lot older. I used to be what I would call an absolute political junkie. Not taking sides one way or the other, but I would watch everything there was to watch, particularly in election season. Debates and talking heads and you name it, way back when. The older I've gotten, the less I've seen the value in those debates. Both candidates show up only going to talk about what they want to talk about. No matter what the question is, they defer the question and move on to what they want to talk about. Or they yell at each other, or they accuse each other. You can write the scripts. So I have decided I just don't feel the need to participate anymore in terms of a viewer. Now, there are exceptions. I'll watch when the presidential debates begin, and like the last one that the Republicans had with Trump, where there were 17 people on the stage. It was sort of like going to a circus. It was entertainment rather than you learn anything politically. But I just have gotten to the point where I just don't need debates. I can find out everything I want to find out about the candidates elsewhere. And I don't just look at one side. I want to see what both sides are saying about the candidate, because sometimes you're surprised. Sometimes you look up a candidate and find out their own party isn't real thrilled with them. And sometimes you find out the other party loves them for whatever reason. Not often, but it does happen if you look hard enough. So I just bypass the debates. Others are faithful to them and watch them and make decisions based on them. I'm not sure, for example, that in the Whitmer-Dixon debate last night, many minds were changed, because I think most people knew the candidates' positions going in. Maybe the personality sways a few individuals because, that's what happened to Richard Nixon back in the late 50s against John Kennedy. Kennedy came off looking like a star, and Nixon just kind of looked gray and befuddled. And it cost him it's one of the things, at least, that cost him that election. So, I don't judge on personality, and if that's all you're getting out of debates, why bother to watch? I'm not interested in the personality. I'm interested in the positions and their ability to lead. So anyway, just thought I'd bring them up this morning. If you've watched, fine. What was your reaction if you watched the debate? Give us a call. Let's talk about it. We do have open phones this hour, whatever you want to talk about. 989-752-6111. There was a lot of national interest on the Pennsylvania race, where Democrat John Fetterman is up against Dr. Mehmet Oz. Mr. Fetterman, who is the lieutenant governor of the state of Pennsylvania, as you well know, has been well documented, suffered a stroke about 5 months ago. There are some lasting effects, and that has been made a campaign issue by Dr. Oz. And last night at the debate, from what I've read, while he was able to hold his own most of the time, there were quite a few faux pas that Mr. Fetterman found himself addressing. But I don't know how much of an influence that's going to have in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is one of those states that can swing. Used to be solid blue, but it's a swinger. And it's going to be interesting to see. And the polls, for whatever they're worth, I just, at this time of year, I'm not a big believer in the polls. They're interesting to read, but, that's all they are, is interesting to read. But according to the polls, the race between Fetterman and Oz has tightened up, where Fetterman at one time had a substantial lead. It's down now to less than 2 points, which is well within the margin of errors. So who knows what's going to happen in that race. But there are a lot of pundits who say that as that race goes, so goes the Senate. Most of the political observers and pundits and all of that seem to think that the House is pretty much going to go Republican. The question is by how many votes. You need 218 to have control. And I've seen estimates anywhere from 230 to 245, and who knows. But most political analysts think that the House is going to go Republican. The Senate, a 50-50 proposition, as it is right now, may stay that way. It's only going to take one upset in one Senate race for one side or the other to gain an absolute majority. And by absolute majority, I mean 51 votes where the vice president's vote is not needed. Now, for the Democrats, if they pick up one seat in the Senate, that in effect gives them 52 votes with the vice president. And what that would do for the Democrats is neutralize Joe Manchin. Because if Mr. Manchin decided he was not going to support a particular Democrat program, they would still have 50 votes to 49 for the Republicans. So they are hoping to pick up at least one seat. Meantime, the Republicans think they have a pretty good shot at picking up at least one seat, which would negate the Democrats and the vice president and give the majority to the Republicans, which would then make Mitch McConnell the leader of the Senate. In the House, it looks like Mr. McCarthy will replace Nancy Pelosi if the Republicans take the House. It's still an if. But again, trends in history point to the fact that in a midterm election, the party in power loses power. We'll see if it continues. But it's going to be an interesting next 2 weeks, a little less than 2 weeks now to Election Day. A lot of places have started voting early already, and there have been lots of absentee ballots sent in already. But I think Election Day is going to be very interesting. Election Day, I will pay attention. I will do a number of things on Election Day. I will be swapping channels pretty regularly to see how they're being covered. Just out of curiosity, how the different networks cover the different races. But I haven't decided yet which network will be my home network. Where are they providing the most continuous coverage accurately? Haven't decided that yet. Sometimes I don't decide that till I start flipping around and something catches my attention. And I'll say, okay, I think I'll watch this. But that day, election day, that's a candy store for political junkies. It'll be fun to watch this year. At the same time, very serious because the outcome obviously will have tremendous impact on the nation. But it will be interesting to watch. We're going to take a break, come back. We'll get to our phones. We have Craig in West Branch, Paul in Saginaw waiting for us, so we will get to them right after these notes.
I'm Jacob Hilliker, Bay County Road Commissioner. I believe we deserve more local road funding for the amount of taxes we pay downstate. We all know we have always had to shout a little louder to be heard in Lansing. That's why I'm here. I'm a proud union member, business owner, and I operate a small farm. I don't have time for the national partisan nonsense of the week. I'm here to do a job. Vote Hilliker. Paid for by Jacob Hilliker for Bay County.
Spirit fans, it's the first game of this year's I-75 Cup Challenge, Wednesday, October 26th, as your Saginaw Spirit hosts the Flint Firebirds at the Dow Event Center. Puck will drop at 7:05 p.m. Don't miss a minute of the action. You can get your tickets online at SaginawSpirit.com or go in person at the Saginaw Spirit office on State Street. Check out all the new merchandise for the new season while you're there. Let's bring the I-75 Cup back to Saginaw. Game on, Spirit fans.
Venture X from Capital One is the travel card for people always asking,
where next?
You earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on Capital One travel and 2x miles on everything else you buy with Venture X. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Dr. Travis Stork here to tell you about a great pain reliever called Salon Pass Pain Relieving Patches. Salon Pass is pain medicine in a patch. You stick it right on sore muscles for up to 8 hours. Clinical research has shown that people that used Salon Pass reported less pain with improvement in mood, sleep, and the ability to work. Safe, effective relief is one peel and place away. Salon Pass, it's good medicine.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Boeing shares are losing ground. It lost because of issues in its defense business. Wall Street was expecting a profit. Also this morning, Alaska Airlines Group says it's buying 52 Boeing 737 MAX jets to be delivered between 2024 and 27. Grocery store prices are higher, but the company that makes Heinz ketchup, Kraft mac and cheese, Jell-O, and many other products reported a better than expected quarter. Kraft Heinz says sales rose in the period. It pushed prices more than 15% higher to manage higher costs. Harley-Davidson's summer quarter was upbeat, though sales in North America declined. The company says that's because of lower inventories at dealers. It had supply chain issues in May that cut into production. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Smart businesses are always looking for ways to improve. Better work days can start with Cintas. Your dedicated Cintas sure you have what you need when you need it. We'll stock your essential cleaning products, deliver hygienically clean workwear, inspect your fire extinguishers, and provide first aid and safety supplies. Cintas is with you every step of the way, so you stay a step ahead. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is half off of a furnace tune-up from All Seasons Heating and Cooling. It's a $120 value. All Seasons Heating and Cooling is a family business owned and operated by Mark and Paul Coates. They're the best source for information on heating, cooling, and insulation. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station. 4/7/365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
I guess we'll try to make sense of it all. That is a very, very difficult job.
we will have fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you. Open line edition of the Art Lewis Show. And Craig is in West Branch, our first caller this morning. Craig, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Good.
It's raining to beat heck up here.
Yeah, I think it started down here a little bit too.
So anyway, about your topic today, I the more I think about it, it's what we're being told. You know, we live in this soundbite news thing. What people don't realize is all the talking that happens before something comes out. A lot of times, I'm at the county level in government, and we hash a lot of things out, and it takes a lot of time to do it. Before then, usually it's not on a party line at county level, but we'll set on boards that think alike, and we'll debate things out, and then it'll usually come out to the likings of each of those groups.
Well, listen, you're doing something right in hashing these things out ahead of time, looking for the best ideas, trying to put together the best for what your citizens of your county need. That's the way politics should have happened. I assume when you all sit down, you all talk to each other, right?
Well, for the most part, yes. They're all emotional to a certain point. We have strong beliefs about certain things, just like. But it sounds like when we listen to the news, it sounds like, oh, they came up with an idea this week, and next week they're passing it.
Yeah.
And it's right down party lines, and there's been no debate on it. Why can't they talk about it? And the thing is not everybody's got the same idea. Just take some of these strong topics that are out there. Well, somebody's brought that topic up, and then they debated it. Doesn't make them crazy for having an idea.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So. But, the thing about, and there's things we have to remember about the news media. And I want to use the word news specifically because the media is a big word. But the news media only has so much time to deliver. And they tend to compress and pump it out in as succinct and short a fashion as they can. And the other side of that coin is social media, who tends to pump it out with no regard for truth or honesty or facts. So it's and a lot of people are sucking that up. But social media, but I'll tell you what, I found a headline. Let me find it here. About social media that surprised me. I don't know where I did with it now. Just a minute. But it said social media is beginning to lose its oomph. And I found that interesting. But I don't know what I did with it. Oh, top social media apps are struggling after a decade of dominance. So maybe social media is starting to feel it a little bit too. Who knows? Listen, Craig.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a member of the community and serving the community. I mean, I think more people ought to do that. So.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And you don't know really about it until you're in it.
That's right.
Right in the middle of it. You just can't. We got a new group coming in now because it's election year. So there's new people coming in, and the perceptions that they have about how things operate sure changes once you're here.
It's a learning curve. All right, my friend, listen, appreciate your call. Thank you. You too. Bye-bye now. Paul is in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
I watched both debates between the candidates, and I noticed the same thing in each one. The governor was clearly uncomfortable and defensive. She knew her record was being attacked, and she responded by acting like a ranting, raving hyena and barking dog, where Tudor was cool, calm, collected, and ladylike all the way through. And
well,
that's my take on the
I
whole
was
thing.
just gonna say that's your take on it. I think my wife would probably have an entirely different take, but I understand.
Yeah, they both made good points on the issues, but I think overall Tudor, I think she performed very well under pressure.
All right, so let me ask you a question.
All right.
Did you change your mind, or did you think that going in?
I had my mind sort of made up before watching either debates. My mind has not changed. I'm still voting the same way.
Okay, that was the point of my question.
Yeah, it just two debates reinforced my belief in who I was going to vote for.
All right, then that's fine. Not a problem.
Yep.
All right.
So,
good enough, Paul.
Alrighty.
Thanks.
All right, later.
You bet.
Bye.
And let's talk to Walt in Hemlock. Walt, good morning to you.
Morning, sir. How you doing?
Doing all right.
Said debate last night too, and I didn't pay any attention to the spats, but I did notice that although both women are gorgeous, I did notice that Tudor and her gang did their homework. They took her to a beauty, and they really did her good. I never saw her look that good.
Well, that's been a lesson of debates for years. That was one of the problems. Go back to the late 50s in the first debates that Nixon and Kennedy had, and Nixon looked terrible in that debate. That was one of the lessons of that debate is you got to come to town looking pretty good. You got to have some kind of presence and look like you're with it and be sharp and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
Now, let me ask you a question. Don't you think that Gretchen Whitmer's people did the same thing?
I'm sure they did, but it was just for some reason that Tudor's gang did slightly more. I've never seen her look that gorgeous under camera.
No, all right. Listen, I don't elect people by how they look, but you do have to look good in the debates because it could cost you. So, yep, I got it.
Good one.
You too. Take care, Walt. Bye-bye now. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. Lines open for you. Give us a call.
Get more for your Medicare dollar in Michigan with a $0 plan from United Healthcare. With the United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan, it's easier than ever to get more for your Medicare dollar, including better than ever dental, vision, over-the-counter, and prescription drug coverage. Take advantage. Call United Healthcare today at 586-842-3770. That's 586-842-3770. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan or area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Who's bid for Michigan State House? Out-of-state radical groups that want to force their extremist policies on Michigan, including defunding our police. Don't let Kim Coonan bring their to destroy Michigan communities and endanger your family. Kim Coonan doesn't stand with us. Coonan backs his out-of-state radical friends. But Timmy Beeson believes in representing Bay County and will always fight for us because Bay County is Beeson's home. That's why Beeson delivered life-saving benefits for people and businesses during the COVID pandemic, and why Beeson is now working to lower costs and stop the out-of-control inflation that's strangling our economy by reducing costs and cutting taxes for families so Michiganders can keep more of what they earn. A hometown fighter working for our community in the State House. State Representative.
Paid for with regulated funds by House Republican Campaign Committee authorized by Timmy Beeson.
Hey, check this out. Nice, right? Like your standard soybean biological. But what if we add a root-protecting biofilm? Then throw in increased nutrient uptake and some local BASF experts. Yeah, now that's multi-feet plus seed treatment. More than the leading soybean biological. Us equals more. Always read and follow label directions.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
Here's my card.
I order takeout, here's my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 6.99% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high interest credit. The much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an account. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 6.99% APR to 21.49% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name is Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
The WSGW Morning Team.
Statewide ballot proposal 2, with the election day again being November 8th. This is a statewide proposal focused on voting. Among the listings on your ballot, you will see that include recognizing fundamental rights to vote without harassing conduct, to require military or overseas ballots to be counted if postmarked by election day, to provide voter rights to verify identity with photo ID or signed statements, require 9 days of early in-person voting, require canvass boards to certify election results based only on the official records of votes cast, and there are a couple more too. But the proposal itself reads this way: a proposal to amend the state constitution to add provisions regarding elections, which may seem kind of vague. It almost seems
a little bit more explanation.
Yeah. Anyway, but we're going to face it on your ballot. So the poll question: should proposal 2 be adopted? Yes or no? You head to WSGW.com. You can scroll down the homepage. You'll find the poll box, and you can make your vote that way.
The Morning Team. Weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW. This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW. Open phones, we'll get back to them in just a moment. I just wanted to, I found these headlines interesting back to back. First headline: Trump eyes longtime Virginia operative for senior 2024 campaign role. Headline 1. Headline 2. Growing number of Republicans say Trump won't be the GOP nominee. Back to back. There you go. Mark is in Bay City. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Hey, observation, looking to get some feedback. Last night I listened syndicated on your guys' radio program, the Tudor Dixon and Gretchen Whitmore debate. Well, I have it on there, so I'm glad that you guys had it this time. However, last time it was about liar, liar, back and forth. This time, it's a little bit different. My concern was there was $700 that Gretchen Whitmore supposedly has given the Chinese to garner business here in the state of Michigan. She didn't want to expand on that.
$700 or $700 million?
$700 million.
I was going to say
$700 million.
$700. Help yourself, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other issue I had was the shooting, Oxford shooting situation that had happened. Did something 6 weeks prior to the shooting where she held a gun and was saying something like the proper way to hold a gun or something. It's just not fair mudslinging when the Oxford shooting happened, but that incident that she was holding a gun was 6 weeks prior to that. And I see you guys are putting that clip and Whitmer calling her out on that at the top of the hour. And I don't know. I just don't think that was fair. What are your thoughts?
Listen, in these debates, the old saying, all's fair in love and war, they go after each other and they look for vulnerable points. Fair is not a word used very much in politics anymore. Attack ads and the reason that it happens is because it works. If we, the voters, did not respond to negative advertising and negative comments and negative debates, they wouldn't happen. Be a waste of time. They'd do something else. But the fact is they get response. So they look for these trigger points, no pun intended. They look for these trigger points that set people off. And that's what they go after.
And there was no response to the lockdown at the nursing homes. She said that's a loaded. Governor Whitmer said that's a loaded question. I didn't want to go into that. Which that's what the debate is to take those topics that people are wondering about and talk about.
Yeah,
is it not?
But and the but is these politicians come to the dais prepared to defer, to move on, to answer what they want to answer, and that's all. And they've gotten very good at it. They take a question from a questioner and they say, well, I'll get to that, but, and then off they go on whatever they want to talk about. And that's why, it's one of the reasons I don't bother with them anymore, but it happens all the time. I mean, it's the nature of the beast. It's just politics, in my view, has sunk to a level we have not seen before. It's far worse now than it's been. Now, and I say that knowing full well that back in the day of our founding fathers, they'd have a gun duel. They'd shoot each other. They accused each other of adultery and all kinds of wonderful things back then. And is that much different than today? Probably not. But what is different today is the way it's delivered. Back then, they put it on a horse and rode a couple of days and dropped off the news. Today, you see it when it happens instantaneously. You don't even time to digest it. It just happens. And that's a big difference. The way we communicate these things has changed the political landscape.
So what are your thoughts about the education here, test scores in Michigan?
Well, I think, first of all, you have to take the pandemic out of it no matter where you are. The pandemic has cost this country a great deal, and the shutdowns of schools did not do anything to help our educational outlooks. Ask me that question a couple of years from now to see what kind of rebound there is. If education rebounds, but we've been, the fact is, this country has not been a shining star in education worldwide for a long time. We don't rank very high in a lot of important subjects. I don't know what the reason is for that, to tell you the truth. I just do not. But we pour money in.
We pour billions. Yeah.
Money is not the answer. Money is, I can't remember the exact numbers now, but it was sometime back when we moved here back in the 70s or something like that, that Michigan teachers were like the second highest paid in the country, and our test results were 48th. And that just tells you that money isn't always the answer. And the question now is, given the nature of education, how do you attract people that really want to teach and really want to help these youngsters succeed? It's the future of education. We've got to find competent teachers who can go into the classroom and lead these students and teach them. And it's
Do you
not
really
easy.
think it's on the teachers?
Part of
Is
it.
On the
part of it is.
Or is it on the union representatives?
No. I'll give you a better idea. Is it on the State Department of Education that's pretty much caused a lot of institutions to teach to the test rather than the subject? We've become so enamored with test results that a lot of teachers find themselves hooked on teaching to the test rather than teaching to the subject and then taking the test. I think that's part of the problem. It's not one problem. It's not just the union. It's not just teachers. It's not just that. It's a whole perfect storm. I got to run, Mark. Got to take a break. All right, my friend. Take care. Bye-bye now. Let me talk to you about your pet for a minute. I know you love it. So does Subaru, because it's Subaru Loves Pets Month at Thalen Subaru, 4211 North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. All this month, Thalen will contribute $100 for every new adoption from the Humane Society of Bay County. Now, you could give a fur baby its forever home. The Subaru professionals at Thalen would like you to stop in, take a look at their Subarus on the lot or what they have in the pipeline, and order the Subaru of your dreams. Subaru features SUVs like the Crosstrek, Forester, Outback, and Ascent, cars including the Impreza and Legacy, and of course, if performance is your cup of tea, look at the BRZ and WRX. You can find more information online at thinkthalen.com. Don't forget the Subaru Loves Pet event at Thalen Subaru. Adopt a pet this month, and Thalen will donate $100 to the Humane Society of Bay County. Thalen, serving your automotive needs for 45 years.
Virginia, Kansas, Berkeley, Ventura, San Francisco, San Diego, Oakland, and Grand Junction, Little Rock, Springfield, Maryland, and Washington. Paul Young has been everywhere, man. But he hasn't spent a lot of time in Michigan. Paul Young has been away from Michigan for nearly 40 years, living in California and all around the country for decades. Now he's spending over $1 million of his fortune to buy a mid-Michigan. Paul Young has an agenda in Congress, and it's not ours. Young's agenda would give tax breaks to millionaires like himself while raising taxes on the middle class and putting Medicare and Social Security at risk. And Young is on the side of wealthy drug companies against lower prescription prices for families and seniors. Paul Young is not from here, and he's definitely not for us. Paid for by House Majority PAC, theHouseMajorityPAC.com. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
We all know clean fields lead to strong yields. That's why XtendFlex soybeans offer triple tolerance to dicamba, glyphosate, and glufosinate to control and the other soybean system. Even tough weeds like water hemp, Palmer amaranth, and mare's tail. Get the control, flexibility, and proven performance you need so you can focus on the business at hand instead of beating back weeds. Explore the Roundup Ready Extend crop system at systemofchoice.com. Claim based on approved EPA herbicide labels as of January 2021. Read and follow pesticide label directions, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
I think farming picked me. I didn't pick farming. I'm not afraid to try something new. It's my farm, my family, and our future. My channel Seedsman gets that. I get access to innovative products with personalized advice backed by data to maximize my yield potential. Or I'll prosper for years to come.
Define your future at channel.com/future. Read and follow pesticide label directions, IRM, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices. Copyright 2022 Bayer Group. All rights reserved.
Here's the deal. I've had constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating for years. I've tried a lot of laxatives and fiber supplements, but my symptoms keep coming back.
You could have a chronic condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZES. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceutical.
Trying to find when and where you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SDSU football on WSGW? Just click on the sports broadcast box on WSGW.com for complete game time listings. That's WSGW.com.
All right, let's get back to our phones. Susan's in Bay City. Susan, good morning. Susan?
Good morning, Art. How are
Morning.
you?
Good.
Yes, good morning. I wanted to say that I was looking into, I wasn't too sure about that. It's basically portrayed as helpful for the military who are overseas and everything. But, when you look into that, the military, everybody gets their ballots 45 days prior to the election. And what I found buried in that really made me mad, because it stated that if that proposal passes, they will continue to keep drop boxes up for 9 days after the election. And basically, that's how elections get stolen. I just am definitely voting no on proposal 2, because I felt that that's just, to me, just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, no,
and if anybody doesn't...
Election dates should be election dates. Date final.
Yes.
Election day is the last day you can vote.
That's what Proposition 2 does. It leaves drop boxes up for 9 days after like the way the election is, get somebody to stuff them the way you want it to go. And I also wanted to make a quick comment to the gentleman that watched the Dixon debate and said something in regards to they made a big deal because Tudor Dixon was holding a gun. But we have the right to bear arms, and that's what they want to take away from us. So they're going to use any school shooting or anything they can to try to make it harder and harder for law-abiding citizens to keep and bear arms.
Yep. All right. Good enough, Susan. Appreciate it.
Okay.
As always, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Joyce is in Saginaw. Joyce, good morning. Hi.
What about this rain?
Gotta have a little of it.
Yeah, I know. On the subject of the education, I know our teachers are paid high, but you know what? I don't really feel that it's all falling on the teachers. Blame has to fall on the parents.
Oh, absolutely.
When our parents would sit us down and quiz us on our multiplication tables with flashcards, or when we're even super young and they would start reading to us, sit down with us on their lap and read us stories and get us excited about reading, and then teach us how to break down big words so that we can read a full paragraph without stuttering or whatever, and understanding the words, like looking them up in the dictionary to find what these words mean and whatever. I mean, when kids go home, they're latchkey kids. Parents are in the workforce. The kids are left to themselves to either do their homework or not do their homework. And if they have a struggle, who do they turn to?
No, I fully agree.
When they're at home.
Yep. Parents are
most of it, I think,
parents are an important role.
I can't believe that parents put it all on the teacher.
Well,
it just doesn't make any sense.
As I said before, there's a lot of factors at play. It's not just one group, but parents certainly are an important factor in a child's education. No two ways about that. Absolutely.
And and I worked as a parapro in the school districts, and a lot of it when I think it was Bush that said no child left behind. Well, when we have the hyperactive kids and they're mainstreamed, a lot of times they take up more away from the classroom than the kids that are actually able to comprehend and learn at the rate that the teacher is teaching. And that's another problem, is how do you mainstream the hyperactive kids in the classroom and not have them be disruptive and whatever? And how do you entice them into the subject at hand,
Well, it's just another example. It's another factor. I'm going to have
Teachers
to.
are so challenged
I'm
these
going to
days.
have to interrupt because of time here, but we'll talk more
I know,
about
commercial time.
this. You bet. It's how we get things done. I will be glad to chat with you again about it, though, Joyce. Anytime, give us a call. Thank you. We're going to take a break, come back and close out this hour, tell you what's ahead. Joe, call back next hour when we go back to open phones after our interview with Dana Muscott.
My name is Kim Coonan. I have been a lifelong resident of Bay County, and I'm running for the 96th District House seat in Lansing. It has been a long campaign, and my opponent has gone negative. But here's the truth. I've been a county commissioner for 20 years. During that time, our savings and fund balance has nearly tripled. The county has no outstanding debt, and our pensions are fully funded. No other governmental entity has a better financial record than that.
Paid for by the committee to elect Kim Coonan state representative.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes. Presto! You're speaking another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
3 weeks. It's incredible. After 3 weeks, I'm on vacation in Paris, having a conversation in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
I'm your man, Steve Harvey, and I got some great news. Listen to me. For real, there are just 2 days left to enter to win $7,000 a week for life from Publishers Clearinghouse. To win it, enter now at PCH.com. October 31st, the prize patrol could be at your house. Hurry, enter now at PCH.com. Don't miss your last chance to win $7,000 a week for life. Come on now, enter at PCH.com.
No purchase necessary. Void or prohibited. Entries due 10/28.
Grissom keeps it himself. Good push by the pile. He's in. Touchdown, Saginaw Valley.
SVSU won a nail-biter at Wayne State, making it back-to-back victories. Now the Cardinals return home to take on Davenport on Family Weekend this Saturday afternoon at 1:30 p.m. on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. SVSU football is brought to you by Westside Decorating Center, A-Plus Plumbing, Forward Energy, and Mercantile Bank.
Saginaw Valley State University football on WSGW.
All right, that's going to do it for the first hour of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. We're going to talk to Bay City Manager Dana Muscott coming up in the next hour. And then we'll have more open phones after that, and we will have open phones right through Focus. No guest on Focus today. All of that ahead after the news, which is next here on WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in New York. Need a home? If you don't have enough cash, it'll cost you a lot more. Data from shows interest rates for 30-year fixed loans have topped 7% for the first time since 2001. Realtor Michael Coburn near Dallas says many homeowners are deciding to stay put.
A lot of sellers, especially the ones who bought 2, 3 years, maybe even 4 years ago, all the way up till just 6 months ago, they're sitting there with a 3.5% interest rate, and they're looking at the market going, hey, I don't have to go anywhere.
Mortgage demand has dropped to its lowest level since 1997. Inflation has a lot of people rethinking the future. Correspondent Peter King explains.
The Northwestern think they'll need at least $1.25 million to retire. That's up from just over $1 million last year. Their expected retirement age is also up from about 63.5 to 64, while average retirement savings are down by 11% to about $87,000.
There could be an easier way to retirement, but you'd have to get really lucky.
This is Powerball. And tonight's $700 million Powerball drawing will be the 8th largest lottery jackpot. No one has matched all 6 numbers and won Powerball's top prize since early August. The odds of hitting all 6 numbers are 1 in 292 million.
See, the candidates for Senate in Pennsylvania hit the campaign trail a day after their one and only debate in a high-stakes race that could determine control of the chamber. Republican Mehmet Oz and Democrat John Fetterman differed on abortion rights.
I don't want the federal government involved with that at all.
Roe v. Wade, for me, should be the law.
Fetterman used a closed caption device as he continues recovering from a stroke. There's a new recall of older Kias. Gilbert has the details from Detroit.
This comes after 8 fires in 08 and 09 model year Sportages that had apparently been repaired as part of a recall 6 years ago. Kia is now trying to work out a permanent repair to the problem in a hydraulic unit. Kia is advising owners to park the vehicles outside until repairs can be made.
Before you pick up your mop and cleaner, there's a new warning.
With so many wonderful scents, do you ever find yourself asking, how do I choose from all these powerful varieties of pine sol?
Clorox is recalling lavender and fresh scented versions of Pine Sol. Consumer officials advise you stop using them immediately because they may contain a bacteria harmful for people with weakened immune systems. Dow up 111. This is CBS News.
You need to hire? Indeed is with you every step of the way, helping you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
I'm Jacob Hilliker, Bay County Road Commissioner. I believe we deserve more local road funding for the amount of taxes we pay downstate. We all know working people in Bay County have always had to shout a little louder to be heard in Lansing. That's why I'm here. I'm a proud union member, business owner, and I operate a small farm. I don't have time for the national partisan nonsense of the week. I'm here to do a job. Vote Hilliker. Paid for by Jacob Hilliker for Bay County.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff. The top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies, rain, and 52 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Perchup. The city of Bay City has a new director of public safety. Patrol Lieutenant Caleb Rowell takes over the top spot effective today. He was named interim director earlier this month in the wake of the resignation of former director Michael Cicchini. Along with his experience as a patrol officer, earned his certification for fire company officer in order to serve the combined Bay City Police and fire departments. City Manager Dana Muscott says Rowell has the respect of his department and other agencies and departments the city works with. She says she's excited to work with him and pleased to work not just with the work he's done over the years, but his dedication to the department and the city as well. Rowell has been a member of the police department for over 2 decades. The day after charges were announced against the teacher in the Atherton School District in Burton, the district shut down the schools for the rest of the week. Tuesday morning, several students reported receiving airdropped messages of threats of violence around 9 a.m. The school superintendent reported the threats would have come from somewhere near the school, and several of the cell phones were seized in order to help determine where the threats. Monday, criminal sexual conduct charges were filed against longtime band and choir teacher Jerry Cutting, accused of having a sexual relationship with a 14-year-old female student. The city of Saginaw has been recognized for its fiscal year 2022-2023 budget presentation. The city received the Distinguished Award from the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada, or the GFOA. City Manager Tim Morales says to achieve the standard, the document needs to function well as a policy document, financial plan, operations guide, and communications device. Saginaw is one of over 1,000 recipients of the award. WSGW News Time 10:07.
For almost 20 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality spray-on. They also offer rust-proofing and undercoating.
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Linex have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because the rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Linex is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
WSGW News Time 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. People, including 2 police officers, were involved in a crash last night in Detroit and happened around 7:30 on the city's east side. A Detroit police cruiser crashed into an SUV, with the cruiser then hitting a tree. 2 people inside the SUV were taken to the hospital with injuries. One of the officers also suffered minor injuries. The investigation into the crash is continuing today. The likely closure of Trail Number 2 in the western Upper Michigan is going to have a big impact on snowmobiling in the area, according to DNR Upper Michigan Trails Coordinator Ron Yesny.
Typically, we would see 20 to 30,000 snowmobiles per year on that. Connects some key communities. It connects Bessemer, Ironwood, and Wakefield together, and it brings in people from Wisconsin and Minnesota. So that trail being closed is going to have a large impact on the economy and the community.
Yesny says the trail is expected to close because the new owners of Snow River Mountain Ski Resort does not plan to allow snowmobiles or ATVs on resort property. Yesny says they're looking into rerouting snowmobiles, but does not expect it to happen before December 1st. Election day is less than 2 weeks away, but more than 770,000 people have already voted. Executives at the Michigan Secretary of State said 1 million absentee ballots have been requested as of yesterday. Election workers expect about half the votes for the November general election to be filed via absentee ballot. A total of 4.2 million people voted in the gubernatorial election 4 years ago. People who have not returned their ballots yet are advised to turn them at their local clerk's office or in person, or to put them in a drop box. WSGW News Time 10:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered rain showers here for today with cloudy sky conditions and temperatures steady early, then slowly falling. Winds out of the northwest around 10 to 20 miles. As 30. Tonight, partly cloudy skies develop, a low near 34. Thursday, sunshine, high of 51 degrees. Then by Friday, plenty of blue skies and sun. We'll see a high around 57. Saturday, sunshine, high of 61 degrees. Then for your day on Sunday, partial sunshine develops, a high around 60. Monday, a chance for rain showers, cloudy, high of 58. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 48.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And good morning to you. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW from my Saginaw Spirit Home Studio. Nice to have you with us. Open phones later on this hour, but we're going to start the hour talking to the city manager of Bay City, Michigan. And we say good morning to Dana Muscott. Dana, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Well, thanks for being with us again.
Thank you for having me.
I guess we need to start with what was just in the news and the fact that you have a new public safety director. Tell us about it.
Yes, I was hoping you would start with that. Yes, we just issued a press release about 20 minutes ago. So yes, we have officially named Caleb Rowell as our new director of public safety, which is effective today. He has served Bay City for over 2 decades. Time started as a school resource officer and kind of worked his way up, and he was our deputy director for the past couple of years, and so it was a perfect fit for him, and we wish him well going forward. I think he's going to do a fantastic job for Bay City.
I have to ask this question. Bay City is one of those communities that went to a public safety model to combine the police and fire departments in some ways.
Correct.
How has it worked?
Mm-hmm. It's working fabulous. In the beginning, obviously, there was some resistance a little bit because, you go to school to be a police officer or a firefighter, and it's the opposite. You don't want to be a police officer if you're a firefighter. And they took it on, and almost all of our police officers are now firemen as well. So they're all public safety officers. We do have dedicated fire personnel. We have, I think, 18 of them that are just on the fire side. But it has saved the city millions of dollars, and it works very well. We have more people on site when you have a fire now when you bring in the police officer side. So it's worked out very well.
So has it in any way changed the response time or the safety of the citizens of Bay City?
Absolutely not. In fact, if you have a public safety officer that's, the police side that's out patrolling the neighborhoods, they get there sometimes sooner than the fire truck before the rig, because the rig has to come from the station. So if they're in the neighborhood, they're there already. They're getting suited up and, assessing the situation for the firemen to come. So it really has worked out well.
All right, let's talk about the favorite subject I ask you all the time: bridges.
Oh, sure.
Where are we with the bridges? I know there were delays in the Liberty Bridge, right?
There was delays, and here with city government, everything is delayed. We can't get materials, can't get employees, and so forth. But UBP is going forward. They plan to have Liberty opened by the end of the year, and coincidentally, we have the agreement for Independence Bridge on the next meeting for the commission to approve, and that's for them to do a rehab of Independence Bridge. It originally was supposed to be, we were going to demo and have a brand new bridge, but things have changed with the prices, and now they're doing a rehab. So that'll start soon as well. So we're going to shift being closed to Independence Bridge being closed.
All right, let's go back. I guess I missed what you said there. Are we not going to build a new Independence Bridge?
We are not. Their new proposal, because of the cost and materials, and then they went back and they looked at some of the initial reports of some of the damage that was done for scouring, and just found that they could go in and rehab all of that to make it safe. And so they have shifted to doing the rehab as opposed to doing the new one.
Is that a cheaper outcome for the citizens of Bay City, and will tolls be less because of it?
Unfortunately, the tolls are going to stay the same. It's going to be about the exact same amount of which they initially had come out with, because if they would have done, the new bridge, it would have been millions of dollars more than what they had originally said with material costs.
And the Veterans Bridge and the Lafayette Bridge, they're not part of this solution for the northern two bridges.
They are not. They are not, but I can tell you that the state has gone out for bid for Lafayette Bridge to be redone as well. So that's going to be, probably in the next, 5 years or so, they're going to be looking at doing something area too.
Is there a coordination between the state and the bridge company with the northern two bridges so they're not all closed at the same time?
Yeah, very good point. So we are working with them to let them know like what our schedule is and what UBP schedule. So we're in contact with MDOT all the time, and so they'll work with us on that, because if we had two bridges down, we already know what happens when there's two bridges down in Bay City, and it causes a lot of havoc. So we will absolutely work with them, and we have to work about our road projects too, in and around Bay City to coincide with those bridge projects, so we don't lock people up.
Let's go back to the Independence Bridge for a minute, because now that they're going to rehab the bridge instead of build a new bridge, they don't have to change the traffic street patterns very much. Then are they going to stay the same, or are they going to revamp that too?
Stay the same. No, they will stay the same. And we had originally with the new bridge in Independence, they kind of had a little jag, like you kind of go around. It wasn't even a straight shoot over, which was kind of dangerous. So it's going to stay in place, but traffic patterns should go right back to the way they were.
All right, let's move on to other issues like ARPA. Where are we with ARPA funds in Bay City?
Oh my goodness! So we're good. We got $31 million. Our commissioners right away went to work. We had committees set up, and our committees were to increase population. I'm doing this off the top of my head. So increase population. Social mobility, children and education, and we had some immediate needs too. And then we did put some road projects into place, about $6 million to do some local roads here in Bay City. And, some of the highlights of ARPA, we were able to put in place some programs to assist our residents. Did a household assistance program where people, if they were having issues paying their utilities or their rent or their mortgage or their taxes, they can apply one-time amount, to help them with those things. And we have expended $720,000 approximately to help our residents with those types of things. Same thing with small businesses. We had about $300,000 that we were able to help them with their bills, with mortgage and utility bills, and also our nonprofits. So it has really helped our community.
Is all of the ARPA money accounted for?
It pretty much is. It's all out into those categories and accounted for. Yeah. And we have contracts, with NAACP and United Way. A really big one, Art, that we're super excited about is we have a contract with our Chamber of Commerce along with Bay County, has put in funds. We put in about $565,000 each to kind of rebrand Bay City and Bay County. It's called Hey Bay City. I'm sure you've heard of Phil Ike. He is leading the charge to kind of rebrand us, and we're going to do some workforce development and marketing and placemaking.
Let me go back to one of the things you mentioned is you put $6 million into roads. It needs to be, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but you could not use ARPA funds directly for that, but ARPA money that replaced budget shortfalls could be used. Is that right?
Absolutely. So any shortfalls that we had during COVID, we could use those monies for that. And that's exactly what we did. We thought it was pretty important that we needed to touch some of our roads. And we really have poor road conditions in Bay City, and we hear it all the time. So we were able to put together potential road projects to $6 million. It doesn't go far. People think that, we can do a lot with $6 million, but we're able to put, about 12 or 13 road projects on that list.
Yeah. And when would you expect those to start?
We've already started bidding those out.
Oh.
I mean, we're going to be doing those in spring. But once again, we're worried because the funds just don't go far with material shortages and contracts. Everybody in the state is doing this right now. So we're fighting for the same materials and the same employees.
Yeah.
So
all right.
It's interesting.
I got to take a break. Hang on. We'll come back. We're talking to Dana Muscott. She is the city manager in Bay City. A 401k can be an important asset for many American retirements. You make contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years, even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs, but its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that'll teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers. The little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and lots more. Request your guide today by calling 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
Michigan, are you getting the most out of your Medicare benefits? Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th, so call. With the United Healthcare Medicare Advantage Plan, you get more from your Medicare dollar now, including better than ever dental, vision, over-the-counter, and prescription drug coverage. Call United Healthcare at 586-842-3770 today and speak with a licensed sale agent. Benefits, features, and/or devices vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply.
I'm your man, Steve Harvey, and I got some great news. Listen to me. For real, there are just 2 days left to enter to win. $7,000 a week for life from Publishers Clearinghouse. But you got to be in it to win it. Enter now at PCH.com. October 31st, the prize patrol could be at your house. Hurry, enter now at PCH.com. Don't miss your last chance to win $7,000 a week for life. Come on now. Enter at PCH.com.
No purchase necessary. Void or prohibited. Entries due 10/28.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The Dow has been looking for direction. Technology shares are under pressure after disappointing earnings from Alphabet and Microsoft. Also, Boeing reported a more than $3 billion loss in its summer quarter because of issues with its defense unit and continuing supply chain problems. Boeing was expected to make a profit, and Boeing shares are down 1%. Hilton says its business exceeded 2019 levels in the summer quarter for the first time since the pandemic began. Though its quarter was mixed, it is optimistic about the end of the year. Chipotle Mexican Grill's quarter top forecast, though the company now says its price increases have caused lower income customers to pull back, and Chipotle shares opened down 4%. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Is your small business ready for holiday mailing and shipping? Yes, with Stamps.com, the 24/7 post office you can access anywhere. You'll get major discounts on USPS and UPS rates, and it's easy to compare carriers and rates for the best deals. Sign up at Stamps.com with promo code BUSINESS for a 4-week trial, plus free postage and a digital scale. That's Stamps.com, promo code BUSINESS.
Is there anything better than just sitting outdoors enjoying nature? Well, I mean, I guess this chair could be a recliner. That'd be better. But there definitely wouldn't be anything better than that. Unless, of course, the recliner had one of those fancy built-in massagey things. Oh, and a bacon skillet.
There's always a better way to do things. With triple stacked Enlist E3 varieties for proven performance, Zetavo soybean seed is seed done right. Zetavo from MS Technologies is distributed exclusively by BASF. Always read and follow label directions.
Listen to this station on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for the start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you'll ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at the Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the Inside Passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. For a brochure, send your address to me and I will forward the brochure to you. Send to artlewis@wsgw.com. That's ARTLEWIS at WSGW.com. Alaska is calling.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
I guess we'll try to make sense of it all.
that is a very, very difficult job. We will have fun.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. We're talking to Dana Muscott. She is the city manager in Bay City. So, Dana, as we look at the city, you mentioned the labor problems of building bridges and all of that. How's the city doing with its labor force?
We're doing well. We have revamped some of our jobs and doing some different things to get people to work. We still have some struggles with sanitation to get people in. Those are our entry-level jobs. And, once people get into our entry-level, they're able to apply for other jobs within the city. We're making do, but we're still, the biggest struggle right now is we need to get people into law enforcement. We're trying to do some videos and some recruiting videos and getting people interested in those jobs. And we're seeing that statewide, nationwide. It's nothing new to Bay City, but we need to all be creative and trying to get people interested in these professions to be a public servant.
Does the city put candidates through the academy, or do your applicants have to come with certification?
Well, I can tell you that's an interesting question because we partner with Bridge the Gap. It's an organization in our region, and they sponsor candidates to go through. We might have to look at that going forward because I know other municipalities are starting to do that. But Bridge the Gap has been a great partner in trying to get people interested in law enforcement and, bridging that gap between young kids and public safety officers and giving them a good experience that way.
I give you the pros and cons. The city of Saginaw, of course, puts candidates through the academy. Talk to Chief Ruth, and he will tell you one of the problems is all the other departments then cherry pick his candidates. After.
Yeah.
So,
it's so true, and that is so true. Unfortunately, we used to have a whole bunch of people that would go through the academy, and you would have your pick, right? Like when they would graduate. Well, now most of them that are in the academy, they're already spoken for. They come out of the academy, and they're already going to an agency, so it's very difficult to get them.
how far along is the Uptown project, and in terms of opening that little exit off of the Bridge Road?
Yeah, that's still scheduled to open soon.
It's been that way for how long now?
I know, we've been waiting a while too. I look at it every day when I go over the bridge. They've opened up their new condos and some apartments there. We have Prost that is opening here shortly, I think within the next few weeks. And he's got some other plans for that area too. So we're thinking it's going to be opening soon. Just another avenue to get people right down into the Uptown development.
And does that complete the Uptown development? There's not much more land to build on, is there?
No, not much. I mean, there's still some over here by the bridge that he has plans for. But he does have plans going forward. And you're right. He is very close to filling up every piece of that land, every piece.
So as we look at Bay City right now, what does it need the most? On the Dana Muscott wish list, what tops that list?
Yeah, sure. The most, I think, obviously, we would love to have people visit our area, but then stay here, right? We would like to increase our population. I know that's one of the things we would love to have. We love showing off our city. Just more of that. I think more city, and I would love for our young men and women who go off to school to come back to Bay City. A lot of times we hear people don't want to come back after they go to school, but we would love to have them come back and have the jobs here, right? And General Motors, back in the day had so many jobs here in Bay City, and it has declined quite extensively. But with Wilkinson Minerals coming in, they're going to employ a lot of people. They have good wage jobs coming. UBP has brought a lot of people into the area and employed them for the bridges, which is fantastic. So we hope and continue to grow our population base.
I know this piece of property is not within the confines of the city of Bay City, but what's going to happen with the consumer property?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with that. I know our neighboring township, struggles with that as well, because that was a big tax base. And even though it's in another municipality, it does affect all of us around because they're not here spending their money in our city and supporting the employees in our area. But I'm curious too. I'm sure consumers have something in mind because they're a great company to be partners with.
The last question I want to get to, in Midland, they formed a Midland Business Alliance to take under the umbrella of that, the chamber and economic development and all of those things. Do you ever see that happening in Bay City?
I don't right now. We just got a new president and CEO of our chamber, and looking forward to her ideas. And I see them right now as two separate entities, but I do see some, pros in combining those as well. But right now they're running pretty independently and pretty good at what they do on each side. They are housed in the same office. Ironically, they share an office space. Down the road, they can look at, some future development of having that combined office.
All right. So last question, anything else we need to know about Bay City right now that's happening that we haven't touched on?
Oh, goodness. I think, how about this event? We're having an event tomorrow here at City Hall. We're having Coffee with a Cop. This usually goes around the city at the fire stations and other businesses, but we're having that here at City Hall from 8 to 10 a.m. It's just a chance for residents to come out and have a one-to-one conversation and to build relationships with their public safety officers. So everybody's invited.
You'll be there?
I will be there, yeah.
So you can have coffee with the city manager too.
You can.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, Dana, as always, it's always a pleasure to chat with you, and thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Art. All right. Have a great day.
You too. Talk to you down the road. Bye-bye now. Dana Muscott, she is the Bay City City Manager. We thank her for joining us. And that will now move us into open phones. We will have open phones right through about 11:30 today. So give us a call, 989-752-6111, toll free 866-790 WS. Nope, forget the toll free number. I have that stuck in my mind. 989-752-6111. That is the number to call.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Virginia, Kansas, Berkeley, Ventura, San Francisco, San Diego, and Little Rock, Springfield, Maryland, and Washington. Paul Young has been everywhere, man. But he hasn't spent a lot of time in Michigan. Paul Young has been away from Michigan for nearly 40 years, living in California and all around the country for decades. Now he's spending over $1 million of his fortune to buy a congressional seat here in mid-Michigan. Paul Young has an agenda in Congress, and it's not ours. Young's agenda would give tax breaks to millionaires like himself while raising taxes on the middle class and putting Medicare and Social Security at risk. And Young is on the side of wealthy drug companies against lower prescription prices for families and seniors. Paul Young is not from here, and he's definitely not for us. Paid for by House Majority PAC, theHouseMajorityPAC.com. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Update the lighting in your home and save 11% on everything now at Menards. Ultra-thin time-saving solution for new recessed lighting. They're easy to install anywhere without the need for recessed housing. Add bright, energy-efficient indoor or outdoor lighting to your home. Get 11% off. All recessed lighting now at Menards. Good through October 30th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
You want to be a showstopper like The Miz? You want to be awesome? Then you'll want to have a game plan. Whether you're a champion or a bettor, you've got to be responsible. The DraftKings Sportsbook offers all the tools you need. You can set a realistic budget and bet within your means. You can set time, deposit, and wager limits so you can have a personal game plan for having fun while being responsible. I practice safe bets, and so should you. Visit DraftKings.com/responsible-gaming to learn about all these tools and more.
Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/responsible gaming for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
What's the best product I bought this year? Oh, that's easy. Salon Paws Pain Relieving Patches. Salon Paws patches reduce my pain and let me do the things I need to do every day.
In a recent clinical study, patients using Salon Paws reported improved sleep, mood, and the ability to work. They had less pain and were able to reduce their use of oral pain medications.
For pain, I use Salon Paws. It's good medicine.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout? Here's my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 6.99% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 6.99% APR to 21.49% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
You have the chance to win a $1,000 gift certificate playing the WSGW Holiday Home Makeover Contest. You enter the contest online at WSGW.com. When you enter, you choose one of the participating businesses where you would use your $1,000 gift certificate if you're drawn as the random winner. Businesses to choose include Bay Landscaping, Crane's L&M Appliance Center, Designer's Touch Decorating in Freeland, Hartel Heating and Cooling, Begic Nursery and Garden Center, Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery, Wolf Isles Ace Hardware, Cluck Nursery, M&R Garage Doors and Openers, A Plus Sand, West Side Decorating Center, Maple Hill Nursery, Roof Max, Reamer Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning, Delta Door Sales, Jolt Credit Union, Morse Clark Furniture. You can enter up to once per day and get bonus entries too. Look for the Holiday Home Makeover Contest box in the upper right-hand corner when you enter online, WSGW.com.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. By the way, we had a conversation last hour toward the end. Susan talked about the ballot proposal 2. That's the Safeguard Our Voting Rights proposal that you will be looking at on your ballot. If you want to see the language of it, pages of language, not just what's on the ballot, but I mean the minutia of that particular ballot proposal, you can go to a Michigan site. It's house.mi.gov/HFA/PDF/ballot_proposal_2 of _2022.pdf. Or simply go to your search engine and put in Michigan Proposal 2. And you'll find that site. It has the entire list. It has the language, and it's pages and pages, which is typical of ballot proposals, which is why before you vote on these ballot proposals, it might behoove you to look them up and read the language, see what the hidden details are, because remember, the devil's in the details. Let's talk to Joe in Bay City. Joe, good morning to you.
And say thank you for mentioning my name at the top of the hour to have me call back.
Yeah, no problem. I wasn't going to get to you. I didn't want you to leave you hanging.
Well, I didn't want to be hung. So anyway, I'm calling about. I don't take that the wrong way, by the way. But I want to call about the debate. And but on your proposal 2 and 3, our voters look at those very closely because both are very bad and both of them are constitutional and they do nothing for Michigan. That's what I'm going to say about that. But I'm going to talk about the debate just quickly here. In my opinion, of where I saw that Tudor was more prepared in my mind than Gretchen was. It was quite obvious on that, I thought. And about the caller that thought he was really impressed with the looks of Tudor and Gretchen. For fine-looking women, but I don't vote on looks. I vote on action. And one reason that maybe Tudor worked a little bit better to him is because Gretchen came out quite aggressive, and she had an aggressive demeanor. And whether you're a man or a woman, if you have an aggressive demeanor, that kind of takes away some of your good looks.
Yep.
So,
well, that's a debate style.
But the main part, right? But the main part is that I thought Tudor had won the debate very clearly because she butted lies and debuted the lies very, very nicely. She kept it. Demeanor was calm. Gretchen was for a while there. She got a little excited. She looked like she wanted to maybe duke it out for a minute or two, but she had I'll put out 3 lies that she got caught in. One was the gas tax. When Tudor mentioned the 45-cent gas tax, Gretchen denied it. And she said, no, we didn't have a gas tax. And then Tudor came back and said, yeah, only because the legislature wouldn't let you do it. And then the auto insurance, the $400, when that was first talked about, took credit for that. But the governorship has nothing to do with that. That's right in the bylaws of the auto insurance that once you get to a certain point, then they have to give money back. And she took credit for that. But last night, guess what? She turned the table and she said, I didn't have anything to do with that because there's a lawsuit going on now. And then the Oxford one, where she accused Tudor of brandishing a gun and acting like it happened right after Oxford. And she did, actually it was like 5-6 weeks before Oxford. And so Tudor caught her on that one too. And I thought Tudor did a wonderful job. I thought she was cool, collected. And the final thing I thought was, I keep it as simple, that with Gretchen, I thought 80% of her words had nothing to do with the questions that was asked to her. And the opposite, I thought Tudor, that 80% of her words were actually about the subject matter. And so
Okay, so we have you down. We have you down in the Tudor 1 column, right?
Well, Tudor 1 column, and I would ask you to ask me a question that you asked one of the callers earlier. Did the debate change my vote or not? So
okay, go ahead.
Question, I'll
so,
give my answer.
Joe, did the debate change your mind at all?
Well, I will say this, and I'm going to give you a debate edge. I'm going to say this, that I don't vote for people normally who promise something. I look at people who already have been in office and what have they done. And looking at those 2 people last night, and I'm not voting for somebody who's promising something, but I will vote against somebody who has not done anything for us. And you can take that to the bank and which way I'm voting.
All right. Well, good enough.
So I go on a track record. I go on a track record more than I do a promise.
Very good. Joe, appreciate you calling back.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I had to wait till you got Muscott there.
Yeah, but I'm glad you did.
I was hoping you were going to ask her a question. How come they decided to fire our police chief? But I guess that would be too sensitive to ask.
Well, no, it was well publicized and in the news, and the hiring of the new one today was the current news. So that's what we touched on. But all right.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Okay, Art.
Take care.
This is my name and waiting for me to call back. I appreciate it. You have a great rainy day.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye now. We'll be back with more lines open for you.
This urgent energy update comes to you from SunTech Wind and Solar of Standish. The major Michigan utilities have announced the closings of their remaining coal plants. This will result in more power outages, leaving you left in the dark. Generators are a costly short-term solution. SunTech has your long-term solar solution.
Let SunTech Wind and Solar show you how a backup battery system can give you true energy independence. Call 989-737-4078 today. Don't get caught in the dark. Wind and Solar, power that never stops.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 800-730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-8405.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 888-74-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 888-74-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 888-74-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building, fast and easy. Call 888-74-STEEL. That's 888-747-8388. 874-STEEL.
The WSGW Morning Team. WSW online poll for statewide ballot proposal 2, with the election day again being November 8th. This is a statewide proposal focused on voting. Among the listings on your ballot, you will see that include recognizing fundamental rights to vote without harassing conduct, to require military or overseas ballots to be counted if postmarked by election day, to provide voter rights to verify identity with photo ID or signed statements, require 9 days of early in-person voting, require canvass boards to certify election results based only on the official records of votes cast, and there are a couple of more too. But the proposal itself reads this way: a proposal to amend the state constitution to add provisions regarding elections, which may seem kind of vague. It almost seems
a little bit more explanation.
Yeah. Anyway, but we present it because this is the way you're going to face it on your ballot. So the poll question: should proposal 2 be adopted? Yes or no? You head to WSW.com. You can scroll down the homepage. You'll find the poll box, and you can make your vote that way.
The Morning Team, week 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Earl is in Saginaw, so let's say good morning to Errol.
Morning. I enjoyed the last gentleman you had on there. I like the way he explained things and his thinking. But I hope he calls with other things. Hey, every time I listen to you have someone on from Bay City, it's enjoyable to see what's going on in that city over there. You get some forward-looking things, except, well, you know how I feel about PSOs, but that's my personal thing.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that, Earl.
Oh, yeah. Well, they tried that. Well, they.
Yeah, I'm actually. I'm not. I have to say, I'm not a big fan either. But it seems to be working there, and it seems to be satisfying their needs. So what do you do? And they also have kept. I think she said 18 professional firefighters for engineers, chauffeurs, and so forth.
Yeah, and there's a couple of other cities that have it also. But
yeah,
I keep hearing. In fact, I heard this quite a while ago that there's going to be another project coming over to Bay City, but it's not going to be announced till after the bridges are finished and up and running. And I was told that by someone that is involved with the other group that puts a lot of money in Saginaw Bay City and Midland. I'm not saying anything more, but that would be.
Well,
nice.
what kind of project are you talking about?
Well, you know what projects they've done before, sir.
Yeah.
They build things that are an asset.
Right.
Can you mention?
So you're suggesting
the temple?
Yeah, you're suggesting that the Sheens have something else in the works for Bay City.
No,
I don't.
That's what I keep hearing, but they won't make an announcement till
Yeah.
the bridges are.
Well, it's listen, with the Sheens, anything is possible. They are builders. They are developers.
Yeah, it amazed me. They just opened that new facility on Court Street where John Moore's
the
store
health
was.
the health
Right,
facility.
Right, it wasn't going to be. No one was going to be charged for use of it. That's amazing. So
yeah,
I'm glad Bay City's going.
Good.
So
all right.
Talk to you later, sir.
Fair enough. And if I know you're retired, but if you ever want to be a PSO officer, I'm sure we can find you.
Well, that doesn't bother me. I've been on national television a couple of times. I'm on the inside track with that group. Don't you remember, right?
Yeah, I do. All right, Earl. Take care, buddy.
Oh, yeah, you do. Okay, see you.
Bye-bye. All right, for those of you who don't know, might not know what we were talking about there. PSOs are public safety officers. It's a hybrid firefighter police officer. Errol, for those of you who don't know, was a battalion chief in the Saginaw Fire Department for many years. And so when we talk about PSOs, we talk about public safety officers. He's not a fan. I have never been a fan of them either, but and in many communities where they've tried it, it's failed, and they've gone back to the old system of police and fire. Some communities, however, have had success with it. And it appears, at least from what we're told and what from Dana Muscott told us, that it's working in Bay City. So, more power to them. If a community can make it work, well, okay, fine. It does save money. But in most normal circumstances, I am not a fan. I think that the skill sets are very, very different. Police officers have a certain amount of training to be police officers. Firefighters have a certain amount of training to be firefighters, and usually never the twain shall meet. But in this day and age, particularly with cities looking at budgets and what have you, they want to make sure that they get the maximum use of their dollars. And a lot of communities had looked at this public safety model that, again, I say, has worked in some places and failed miserably in others. Every community is different. Every community has different needs, and they all look at it differently and do what they have to do for their community. But it apparently has worked in Bay City, so more power to them. More power to them. It was interesting, too, in talking to Dana, finding out, and I did not realize this, that they have scrapped the plans for a new Independence Bridge and instead will rehab the current bridge, but yet the money is about the same to rehab it or build a new one. So I find that kind of interesting that that they've changed course, that the bridge company has decided not to build a new one. It'll be less disruptive, that's for sure. And if they can rehab it up to current standards, well, more power to them. But it won't affect the tolls down the road, because apparently it isn't going to cost any less to rehab it than it would be to build a new one. Good luck with it. Anyhow, so anyway, we've talked about the debates and so forth and so on. There is, I wanted to find an article I had here. Just a minute. Don't know what I did with it now. Well, I pulled a bunch of articles, but I can't find the one I was looking for, so I won't even talk about it. Oh, here it is. This goes back to what we mentioned this last hour. Top social media apps are struggling. They are losing ground. There was, for a long time, we talked about how big they were, how powerful they were, how dominant they were. But not so much. The tech industry has not had a good time. Social media companies have been hard. The stock price of, for example, Meta, which formerly was known as Facebook as the parent company, plummeted more than 60%. Snap, the maker of Snapchat, more than 80%. Layoffs, hiring freezes, common. And some companies have begun cutting their famously cushy employee perks. Now, let's make no mistake. Social media is still powerful. It's still out there. There are still millions of people that follow it in one form or another. But they're falling on some hard times. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll go to the news. And after the news, during Focus, we'll continue open phones.
Tired of out-of-control prices? It's the Gift Food and Craft Marketplace, brought to you by Ship Shawana on the road. Coming to the Harvey Kern Pavilion. Break and Move, October 29th and 30th. Saturday, 9 to 6. Sunday, 10 to 5. We pay the first 100 people to shop every day with Shipsy Bucks. Hundreds of booths and thousands of products. It's one-stop shopping, all under one roof this weekend. Stop paying too much for everything. Fresh baked bread, scrumptious soft pretzels, chocolates, homemade cookies, jewelry, crafts, handbags, home decor, yard decorations, vintage items, furniture, pet supplies. The best deals and the best selection of unique items anywhere. Coming to in Break and Move, October 29th and 30th, Saturday 9 to 6, Sunday 10 to 5. Free parking, admission only $5 per adult, children under 12 free. It's the Gift Food and Craft Show, brought to you by Ship Shawana on the Road. For a $1 off coupon, go to shipshawanaontheroad.com. Ship your mama down the road.
Yeah! Roll them bones and win up to $1,000 cash. Fridays in October, come out to Saguenay Eagles Landing for scary good prizes and thrilling fun. Drawings are every hour from 12 to 8 p.m. for a chance to roll them bones and win big. Let the prize over at Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit Saguenay-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why pay full price when you know you can save at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out our deals from Wheeler's Restaurant, Breaking New Corn Maze, Third Gen Tire and Service Center, Saginaw Old Town Junction, and Salon Blue. Half off? Yeah, it's true. It's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
All right, we're heading to the news, and then we'll be back with more open phones on Focus.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios,
Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, and WSGW 100.5 FM, Carlton.
I'm Steve Kafin. It keeps costing more to buy a home. The average rate on a 30-year mortgage now tops 7% for the first time in 21 years. And the Mortgage Bankers Association says loan applications are at their slow 97. Dallas Realtor Michael Coburn.
A lot of buyers and sellers have decided to sit out on the sidelines and just see how the market plays out.
After their first and only campaign debate last night, the hopefuls in Pennsylvania's all-important Senate battle head into the final stretch in what pollsters say is a tight race. Democrat John Fetterman's early edge has slipped. CBS's Robert Costa.
Fetterman's advisors tell CBS News that in the coming days, they will make abortion rights a focal point, and after the debate, Fetterman raised more than $1 million. Meanwhile, Mem and Oz will campaign today with Nikki Haley, the former Trump administration diplomat.
There's a court hearing in Arizona today on a bid to stop far-right groups from monitoring ballot drop boxes. CBS's Muscott Badar says some wear tactical gear and are armed.
Voters are dropping off their ballots at ballot collection sites, and they are being filmed, they're being followed and harassed. Groups who took photos of license plate numbers.
The U.S. has slapped additional sanctions on Iran, targeting officials who've cracked down on protesters. In the midst of the COVID pandemic, a new health concern is rising up.
The World Health Organization says cases of once rare, deadly fungal disease have soared since the early days of the pandemic, with some 4 out of 10 COVID patients on ventilators picking up a secondary infection. The fungi can spread into the sinuses, bones, brain, and eyes, killing or blinding many victims. Yet the WHO notes fungal infection 1.5% of all infectious disease research funding, calling them one of the fastest emerging threats to human life and health. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
Kia is telling owners of nearly 72,000 older Sportage small SUVs to park them outdoors and away from structures after getting reports of more engine fires. Second time action's been 08 model years. There's confidence today as people buy Powerball tickets.
Gonna win, baby. Don't bother playing.
Somebody's got to win it, so it might as well be me.
The jackpot tonight is $700 million, fifth highest prize in the game's history. The Wall Street Journal reports the Justice Department's antitrust investigation into the PGA Tour now includes the U.S. Golf Association and Golf Club, home of the Masters. Checking Wall Street's. Right now, the Dow's up 264. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner, you can save a ton of money on a custom-designed building.
Virginia, Kansas, Berkeley, Ventura, San Francisco, San Diego, Oakland, and Grand Junction, Little Rock, Springfield, Maryland, and Washington. Paul Young has been everywhere, man. But he hasn't spent a lot of time in Michigan. Paul Young has been away from Michigan for nearly 40 years, living in California and all around the country for decades. Now he's spending over $1 million of his fortune here in mid-Michigan. Paul Young has an agenda in Congress, and it's not ours. Young's agenda would give tax breaks to millionaires like himself while raising taxes on the middle class and putting Medicare and Social Security at risk. And Young is on the side of wealthy drug companies against lower prescription prices for families and seniors. Paul Young is not from here, and he's definitely not for us. Paid for by House Majority PAC, theHouseMajorityPAC.com. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your... It doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
What's the best product I bought? It's easy. Salonpas pain relieving patches. The proven medicines in Salonpas patches reduce my pain and let me do the things I need to do every day.
In a recent clinical study, patients using Salonpas reported improved sleep, mood, and the ability to work. They had less pain and were able to reduce their use of oral pain medications.
For pain, I use Salonpas. It's good medicine. He said me too.
Live. 0.5 and 790 Newsroom. This is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and rain and 52 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mike Percha. A longtime member of the Bay City Department of Public Safety has been promoted to director of the department effective today. Caleb Rowell, whose career with the Bay City Police Department started over 2 decades ago, takes over the position vacated when
Cicchini resigned after an altercation with a group of teens. Roll was named interim director earlier this month. City manager Dana Muscott says she thinks the decision is a good one. She believes Roll already has the support of the department and will work well with other departments at the city. When Bay City combined its police and fire departments, Roll was a patrol officer and attended the Bay County Fire Academy to obtain his firefighter certifications from the state of Michigan. He's a 2021 graduate of the FBI National Academy and served Great Lakes Bay Region Families Against Narcotics. Wildfire Credit Union and Hidden Harvest had partnered together to help families in need. In a program called Holiday Harvest, Wildfire is filling bags with enough food for a family for 1 week. Customers can make a $10 donation to purchase the bags for those in need. Wildfire Chief Marketing Officer Linda McGee says the donated funds are also given to Hidden Harvest.
The nice thing about this is all of the money that we raise from selling all of these bags, we will then turn around and harvest as they continue their efforts with giving fresh food to all of our families that are in need.
The program begins November 1st and lasts until supplies run out. The bags are available for purchase at all Wildfire Credit Union branches. This Saturday is the USDEA's Drug Take-Back Day. Both state police and the Department of Veteran Affairs will allow Michiganders to drop off expired, unused, including controlled substances and prescription meds for destruction. Liquids, inhalers, patches, needles, or other illegal substances will not be accepted as part of the take-back. From 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., residents can visit the Alida E. Lutz Medical Center at 1500 Weiss Street in Saginaw or at any Michigan State Police post, including the Tri-Cities post at 2402 Salzburg Road in Freeland. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands. First roof rejuvenation treatment. RoofMax is a safe, easy, and affordable alternative to costly asphalt roof replacement, and it's guaranteed. So don't replace RoofMax.
RoofMax, a safe, easy, proven, affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Call Ben today at 859-6751 or go to GetRoofMax.com for a free quote.
BASF knows your field holds big potential. So when you want to invest in the future, we're ready to be the partner that can help get you further. We put new tools and technologies in your hands so you can grow more, protect more, and command more. And with the BASF financing program, it's easier than ever to expand your operation with better terms and less requirements. More at BASF-grower-finance.com, helping you do the biggest job on earth. Always read and follow label directions.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. A team of prosecutors say they will appeal a judge's decision to dismiss criminal charges against 7 people connected to the Flint water crisis. The state attorney general's office said the public deserves to hear the evidence against the defendants, including the former state health director. Prosecutors say they followed the law as it pertains to use of a one-person grand jury and is prepared to move forward. One of the defendants said in a statement there is simply no basis for an appeal and to suggest I'll wave its magic wand and revitalize the indictment that was ruled invalid borders on the absurd. The number of Michigan voters seeking absentee ballots continues to climb. Jake Rollo, Chief External Affairs Officer with the Michigan Department of State, shares the latest numbers.
2 weeks before Election Day, ballots requested was 1,810,569, and ballots that had been submitted was 771,967. Yesterday was the last day that you could register online or by mail. That means that we are now in the period citizens can only register by visiting their city in person.
Rollo also advises those who have yet to submit their absentee ballots to do so at this point in person via Dropbox or to your local clerk's office, as opposed to relying on mail service. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see a few scattered rain showers here for today with cloudy sky conditions and temperatures steady early, then slowly falling. Winds out of the northwest around 10 to 20 miles per hour. As 30. Tonight, partly cloudy skies develop, a low near 34. Thursday, sunshine, high of 51 degrees. Then by Friday, plenty of blue skies and sun. We'll see a high around 57. Saturday, sunshine, high of 61 degrees. Then for your day on Sunday, partial sunshine develops a high around 60. Monday, a chance for rain showers, cloudy, high of 58. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weather On. Currently, it's 46.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Good morning and welcome to Focus here on WSGW, brought to you by RoofMax, the safe, proven, easy, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax. And Focus today will be an extension of our open edition of the Art Lewis Show. So lines are still open for you if you have something you want to chat about. Maybe it was the debates last night or anything else on your mind. 989-752-6111 is the number to call. And we would love to chat with you on this Wednesday, getting a little bit of moisture out there, which we haven't had. Wow, what a weekend we just came through. Wasn't it wonderful? 70 degrees, dry. It was just beautiful. That's my favorite temperature. 65 to 75 is my temperature range. That's my favorite, absolute favorite, which is why I like spring and fall, because that's where you find most of those temperatures. Anyway, a number of things to just chat about here in the waning moments, but still time to talk to you, so you can give us a call. He's still in the news. Kanye West, or Ye, or Ye, I don't know which it is. Ye, I guess. Kanye West. He is being dumped. One company after another. Some of these big companies, and some of them willing to take huge financial hits. Adidas, it will probably cost them millions and millions of dollars, but they have ceased to be related with Ye and his sneakers, the Yeezy brand, and they've stopped making them. And Foot Locker has told its stores to pull Yeezy products off the shelves. So it's going to be interesting. This backlash goes deeper. I mean, he had a lot of contracts with a lot of companies, and his clothing lines were where he made his money, and they are just severing relations as fast as they can because of his anti-Semitic comments about Jews and other things. And listen, free speech is free, but it's not without consequence. He's learning it the hard way. Bill is in Cass City, so let's go there this morning. Bill, good morning.
Well, good morning, Art. Beautiful day out here.
Yeah.
At least we don't have to shovel it.
You got it right.
We're talking about Mr. West or Ye or whatever you want to call him. But I find this strange also because our politicians, sides of the aisle, talking some terrible trash about each other, and this is all it is. Now, it's not to the point of anti-Semitic or anything else, but it's some pretty nasty crap.
Yep.
And yet they're never held accountable.
Oh, yes, they are. Oh, no, they are. They are. Every time you go to the poll, that's it. That's it. Remember, here's the difference. And this is a difference. It needs to be distinguished. Theirs is considered political speech. And political speech is the number one reason the First Amendment exists. The founding fathers, you can trace this back to the Federalist Papers and elsewhere, were most concerned about political free speech. And consequently, they passed the First Amendment to the Constitution, which has now been, sort of expanded by the courts. But there's very little you can do to hold a politician accountable for anything they say other than at the voting booth. Whereas a private citizen making those comments can be held very much in accountability by slander and libel laws. Slander being the spoken word, libel being the printed word. They can be sued. Companies can sever their relationships. People can do anything they want. That's the consequence of free speech.
Well, what I find, though, Art, I guess maybe I'm not eloquent enough to put this outright, but when you do this, I grew up in an era, you and I may disagree. You may say it's black, I may say it's white, or sweet, sour, whatever, the difference.
And have lunch.
But we kept it civil.
Yeah, we had lunch
And
afterwards.
We never brought our, well, no, but we never brought our wife and kids or your wife.
Right. Absolutely.
It's something that you and I hashed out as two adult males.
Yep.
We may not like each other, but we kept it that way.
Right.
Now it's, you can say anything you want, and you sit there and say, seriously?
Yep. As a
The other day, there was
politician.
an article out, as a politician. But the other day they sat there and they were talking about, well, we need term limits, but they were talking about a young lady now that she's only been in there 40 years and it's time to get rid of her. It's really, it took 40 years. Now, come on, kids.
Well,
you know, this makes no sense to me because
it doesn't, but you got to live with it because the Constitution guarantees it.
Well, that's why I've always been in favor of a third-party system, because if
Ah!
Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse didn't get it, then let's get Goofy in there.
There you go. Well, no, here's the problem. I think we already have goofies.
Well, that's true. That's my mother, years ago, my mother passed away from a disease that's very debilitating, and it started out as dementia, and then it progressed.
Wow.
I see this in a man today, and I feel so sorry for him. I didn't vote for him, but I see this same trait, and this is wrong, because as a human being, somebody should step up and say, hey, come on, we need to take care of you.
Well,
because
you know, that's where the voters come into play again. There's no law against it, and politicians have the right to do it. He has the right to run. And, you know, the diagnosis of dementia by civilians is based on what we see in the media, what we hear, and all of that. But the reality is there's no law against it.
Well, no, there isn't, Art, but I guess I'd like to see some civility, at least.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the boxing matches, when they get done, one guy beat the living Jesus out of the other guy, but they get up and shake hands when they're done and say thank you. You know, you give your best.
Do you know what? You know why you're seeing it? You see it because we, the public, react to it. There's a certain percentage of the public that reacts to it, and that's why they keep doing it. If nobody reacted to it, if they had no gain from it as politicians, it would go away. It's not going to go away.
Well,
so
I certainly hope it does. But
yeah, me too. But it's not going to.
Do something this year that no, it won't. But
all right.
Wonderful thing that maybe.
All right, Bill.
You have a good day, Art.
You too. Thanks for calling. Bye now.
Okay.
Jim and Wheeler, hang on. We'll get to you right after these notes.
Do you have Medicare questions? Confused by all those TV ads? What's best for you? There are options available to you now through December 7th that you didn't have before. Talk to the folks at Medicare Choices in Saginaw today and have your questions answered. Did you know that now you could have up to $1,000 or more added to your Social Security check? Talk to Medicare Choices about a plan that eliminates copays. Call 989-899-7820 today. Medicare Choices of Saginaw. Again, 989-899-7820. It'll be the best call you ever made.
Who's backing Kim Coonan's bid for Michigan State House? Out-of-state radical groups that want to force their extremist policies on Michigan, including defunding our police. Don't let Kim Coonan bring their radical policies here to destroy Michigan communities and endanger your family. Kim Coonan doesn't stand with us. Coonan backs his out-of-state radical. Beeson believes in representing Bay County and will always fight for us because Bay County is Beeson's home. That's why Beeson delivered life-saving benefits for people and businesses during the COVID pandemic, and why Beeson is now working to lower costs and stop the out-of-control inflation that's strangling our economy by reducing auto insurance costs and cutting taxes for families so Michiganders can keep more of what they earn. A hometown fighter working for our community in the State House. Timmy Beeson for State Representative.
Paid for with regulated funds by House Republican Campaign Committee authorized by Timmy Beeson. Are you looking for something special? Something right for your needs? What about something with performance, backed by unique germplasm? Well, we're here to help you find a soulmate for your soil. Your soil mate. With AgriGold, enjoy a seed made so specifically for your soil it feels like fate. And with a team by the way, it's never been easier. Find your soil mate at chooseagrigold.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The WSGW Broadcasting Studios are sponsored by the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center in Midland.
All right, let's get back to our phones. Jim is in Wheeler. Jim, thanks for waiting, and good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
You know, I want to talk about the debate just a little bit.
Sure.
You know, sit there and you watch Whitmer. I told my wife, I says, you know, what you need to do is don't listen to what she says. Watch her face. She was very snarky last night, and I think Dixon did not was a TKO. She did very good. I think she did better this time than the first time.
She came better prepared.
She was very prepared. Yes, and I don't know where she got her information, but it's almost like Whitmer's people sent her some stuff to study.
They have operatives that dig it all up for both sides.
Yeah, I know it, but it's one of those things that when you're running for office and you want people to vote for you, you usually have just a little bit better demeanor than the governor did.
Well, listen, that's all good. Yeah. It's all part of judging, isn't it? I mean, that's why some people watch the debates. So that's all part of it.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Good one. That's all I want to say.
All right, Jim. Well, I'm glad you waited. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
That's all right.
Yep. Bye-bye. Listen, I said earlier last hour and the hour before that, I was talking about the debates that I didn't watch on purpose because I pretty much know their positions. I've researched them. And I don't judge people on how they look on television. And most of these candidates have learned that lesson. And it goes back, as I mentioned, to the late 50s, 59 or whenever it was when Nixon and Kennedy debated. Nixon looked absolutely terrible. And most political pundits believe that is what cost him the election back then. Kennedy was charismatic, came across that way. Came across prepared, good-looking guy, and here was Nixon looking frumpy and didn't have the answers and just didn't come across well. Those lessons were learned by a lot of politicians who now come to debates looking right. They have their staffs providing them with all kinds of information, and also let's also realize that in a lot of these cases, and I can't say for certain if it happened in Michigan or Pennsylvania or anywhere else there was a debate, a lot of times the staff will run a mock debate with the candidates. Someone on the staff will act as the opposition and throw out all the nasties, and the candidate will learn to react to them. So a lot of what you see has been well rehearsed, well staged, and that's why I don't get much out of them. I really don't. I mean, if I were just judging on looks, maybe. But I just don't see the need to spend a lot of time watching these people peck at each other and come away not learning anything more than you knew before. I mean, both positions were well known on the major issues between Whitmer and Dixon, so what was there to learn? Anyway, that's just my view. We'll take our last break and then come back and close out and get ready for the market reports from Baird and Company.
Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler, host of the Money Pit Home Improvement Show. If you think you need a new roof, think again. You can avoid replacement and save thousands with RoofMax, the world's first roof rejuvenation treatment. RoofMax is a safe, easy, and affordable alternative to costly asphalt roof replacement, and it's guaranteed. So don't replace RoofMax.
RoofMax, a safe, easy, proven, affordable alternative to replacement. Call Ben today at 859-6751 or go to get a free quote.
Enjoy the best of yacht rock for the holidays. So ladies, the Little River Band. Let me take a look at you now. Same show, same night, Ambrosia. Saturday, December 17th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Tickets start at $32. On sale now at the box office or etix.com. Party and play with Little River Band and Ambrosia. Details at Soaring